What's up, guys? Blinkers on here, and today we are going to be making this is the first episode of the Be Crushed by a Speeding Wall series. So that's what we're going to be remaking in Roblox. This is a pretty popular game from like when I was younger. Everybody would play this on Roblox. It was just such a great game. And yeah, we're going to remake that today. So first, for this tutorial, we're just going to make the environment and just learn how to model a little bit. So first we need to make the facility, because you have to have the facility. This is the biggest part of the game. This is where the speeding wall will chase you. So we're gonna make a very simple facility. It'll be pretty small, but you can scale it up in your game. So I just added a part, and I'm gonna make it probably that long, I would say, and probably that wide. There we go. And I am actually going to take the base plate, and I'm going to scale it down and back so that it's right about here. So the reason I'm doing this is because in Be Crushed by a Speeding Wall, you need a square where the player can fall into. So the way we're going to be doing that here in this tutorial is by moving and making an actually second version of this and of the base plate and placing it right there and just scaling it back so that it's right about there. That's probably good. So now we have like a crossing that you can have, and we're going to anchor the part right here too. And we need to duplicate the base plate again, but we'll duplicate the smaller one, and we're going to move it so it is right here. Yeah, see, we're going to move it back here, and we're going to scale it back down here. So, boom. And we're also going to move it up a little just so that it doesn't have any clipping issues with the rendering. Even if you do have a little line right there, that's okay. And yeah, so we're going to just make sure this is in line. And I'm going to adjust it to make sure that, there we go. So yeah, there we go. And it's still a little misaligned, but since you're going to be running in the facility, you're not really going to notice the misalignment. So we're going to duplicate that again. And I've just noticed that all of these are locked. So I'm going to select all of them and tick off lock just so I can select them in the workspace. So I'm going to duplicate this and move it all the way down here so that now there's an empty space underneath our thing, oh my gosh, our facility. So see how there is a space right there? We're going to turn that into the winning zone. So we're going to scale this down until it reaches there, duplicate it, and move it all the way up here until it's right about there. Then we're going to scale it back, and now we have a hole that you can go to and you can survive. But if you notice, if you fall, you're going to die. So we're going to duplicate this again. Actually, we're not going to duplicate that one. We're going to duplicate this one. Duplicate it, move it over here, and move it all the way down. So now that we have this is a room that you can go into. So if I click play, and I would run all the way to the end, jumping, and then there would be the speeding wall that comes from behind me, and I would run all the way up here, and then I would make it here. So this is where you're going to fall in, and you're going to get a survival from this. This is the win area. So this is where you fall in, and then you get teleported back, and you're going to actually get a win from that. So now that we're here, we've finished our basic facility, but we're going to need to add some walls. That's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to scale this up. This will also help with the issue we have with the clipping. Now, if you wonder how to fix the clipping, we could union it together to fix the clipping. The problem is, if you union these blocks together, this space will have a collider, so you won't actually be able to fall in, and yeah, it's not going to end up well if the speeding wall is chasing you, and it'll be impossible to get coins and other stuff. So I am going to move this over here, and now we have a pretty good facility, but I am going to move this right here so that you can see and you can actually get in, and I'm going to duplicate this rotate it around, move it back, and there we go. So now we have this, and I'm just going to scale it back, scale it down, and then duplicate it, and move it all the way down here. So I can bring it all the way to the back. Alright, there we go. So that is our environment pretty much finished. You are welcome to change any of the colors, and I've just realized these are a little misaligned, and we can change that by just moving this out a little bit. Yeah, so that you can't see the... There you go. Alright, so now that we have these, the whole, we can actually start making our speeding wall. And to do that, we can just duplicate this, move it forwards a little bit, and we're going to change the color to red, and we're going to change the material to neon, which is this one that looks invisible, but is not the force field. So now that we have this, if we click play, we can go up to it, and we can see that there's a giant glowing wall that will be able to chase us down the hall. And it'll also have an earthquake sound with it, like a shaking sound, a rumbling sound, so that it'll get louder when it chases you. And I'm going to rename this part to speeding wall. And now we have our speeding wall, but we also need to add a decal to it. So I'm going to go to the toolbox and look for an image or a photo. Yeah, decal, as it says in the drop down. I'm going to do angry face. That's what I'm going to look for. So we're going to look up, and I think this one looks good. Angry Face V2. Thanks to @account 4textures09. So because they are the person that I'm using their picture for. So you currently can't see it, and that's a problem because it's probably showing up on another surface of this wall that we can't see. It's probably showing up on the bottom part or the bottom face, or so the way we fix that is we scroll down underneath the decal and see how this says face front. We just have to scroll through, like go through all these until it shows the right one. Oh, and there it is. It was the bottom one. So I'm just going to resize this so that it actually can be seen. And now we have a giant speeding wall that looks, well, it looks pretty menacing when you're running from it, and it's going to be chasing you. So that's our environment finished. And yeah, and there's a little extra bit at the end. We're going to be adding music, background music. So the way we do this is we're going to go to the toolbox, because I don't really make my own music. I just take some from the toolbox. And I like to put in just like, let's just search for today's, just go to essential music and listen to it. Listen to it. So that does not sound like one that we're going to be listening to while we're running. But if we listen to this one, it's more laid back stuff. Yeah, so I don't think I'm going to be listening to that when I'm running from a big boss. So I'm just going to go through all these sounds and try to find one that sounds good. And you can do the exact same, but I'll see you guys in a minute. Alright, so I found one that is pretty, nostalgic, and I think will work really well with the type of, funny run from a speeding wall game that we're making. And it's this Town Talk song. I'm going to let you listen to the first few seconds, and I'm guessing you will recognize it. So, yeah, I think that would be kind of funny if I just had that in the game, and it's just playing that song while there's a giant wall trying to just destroy you. So I'm going to add that into the game, and I might just change it later, but this is the one I'm going to be going with. So the way that you add it to the game so that everyone can hear it and it'll constantly be playing is we're going to click this insert button. And actually, I'm going to thank this person @APM Official. Thank you so much for this nostalgic song. If you made this, that it is just so good and amazing and a great part of Roblox. So now that this is here, I've added this sound. You have to make sure it's parented to the workspace, because if you just add it under a part, it'll play from that part, and it'll get quieter the farther away you get from that part. So make sure it's under the workspace, because then it'll never actually go away from. It'll never get quieter. And then we're gonna scroll down under playback, and we're gonna tick on looped, and we're gonna tick on playing. So now we're gonna click play. And now we can hear our music playing. We can actually try to run, and the speeding wall, if it was chasing us, would try to run and kill us. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We just made the basic interior, and we made the wall, and we made just the environment pretty much. You can add whatever you want. You can change the color of the base plate, but I'm just pretty much just adding an actual simple environment that we can use for our game. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next episode of the Be Crushed by a Speeding Wall series. Peace out.